to Bebas BarTalk, drunk words, sober thoughts. Don't get me all fucked up, twisted, and confused, because I will put you out there. Welcome to Bebas BarTalk, drunk words, sober thoughts. Don't get me all fucked up, twisted, and confused, because I will put you out there. This week, we got a special guest, Mr. Dante Moon or Luna? La misma pendeja, right? Yeah. It's the same shit. Yeah, Instagram, Dante Moon. But if you find them as Dante Luna, you can find them as Dante Luna, too. Welcome, Dante.
Peace.
You're fucking amazing, I must say. I'm like, I don't know if I'm over here like I had to watch you done a lot of work. You do a lot of shit. And I feel like you've been in the game for years and made you an animal. Like, you're dead ass dope. And I'm saying it like from the bottom of my heart because I heard about Dante Luna and it's no bullshit for Latin Festival.
The El Mundo?
Telemundo. And I get a bold to pick with you because I did a few interviews. I don't know. I never freaking seen them.
Okay, smooth. I have no idea. I mean,
but I heard their name. Oh, we're gonna let Dante know. We're gonna let Dante know. Who's this fucking Dante guy that we're gonna let know? And it was cool because I want to say that day made me realize that this is the shit for me. Because if it wasn't for Jose Ayala, shout out to him. He grabbed me that day. He said, "Come on, Beba. You want to be in this?" He brought me out there. He brought me to do the interviews for Oro Sólido, for Enclave, and I was just like,
"Oh wow!"
Yeah,
so that was you.
Yeah,
okay.
It rings a bell now.
Oh, so that footage, I have all that footage.
Oh, see, so where the fuck is it?
I haven't touched it. So when I have gold, I don't touch it.
Oh, it's gold.
Well, I mean, when I have something that's really amazing, I'm not in a hurry to spit it out. A lot of people have a newsy approach, and they feel the anxiety of having to drop it right now. But if it's money, I'm not touching it until I got sleep, I eat well, I'm rested, my mind gotta be right. Sometimes I might not be mentally ready to put it together yet.
Okay.
But if it's really good, I don't touch it. So that festival, we got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
And I know there was somebody in Ayala said, I got someone to work on the interview. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
I saw the footage. I'm like, this is great. And I'm like, I'm gonna revisit it. Yeah. So that's you in that video. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
No, but it's funny because I'm like like stalking everybody. Where the fuck is this image? Like, where, because usually that's what people, they do. Like, you do recordings and you put it out there. But that was like, but to be honest, that day was like.
So El Mundo, I helped them organize that event. So I curate the kid zone. Mm-hmm. So that kid zone, they gave me that whole back section. But I also build media teams for them for that event for Family Festival at Fenway. So they have their own film team, and then I bring my film team in. Yeah. And then Ayala knows how I get down. Like, I don't ask permission until I get told you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he grabbed you. See, that's him producing under my umbrella because he knows how I would do it. He knows I would make it happen until someone says, y'all got to go.
Yeah. No, and it's crazy because I'm with my People's Remains Radio. You know what I mean? So we're here. I'm still thinking that he goes, Beba. And he's been following me for a long time. And you know what I mean? He's like, you want to be in this? Boom, let's go. And I'm like, where am I going?
But that's what it's about.
Where am I going?
That's what that event's all about, too.
Yes.
That event, to me, is like, it's a great stage to showcase what I do. But it's like, it's different because people know me mostly for like making videos and taking pictures. But that event I organize. I don't get to hold a camera.
No, I know. Yeah, that's why I'm like, who's
quarterbacking.
this guy? Who's this Dante? Who are they talking about that they need to get approved? They need to do this. and it's crazy because I seen you, but you were in the wrestling part.
Yeah.
Of the
that whole back area.
That whole back area. Yeah. So, and it was crazy because again that day. I've always liked the whole, again, I've done little radio, the radio stuff, the online, and I do my skits, I do my comedy, I talk shit, because if you know me, you know I talk shit. But that day opened up my eyes to be like, yo, this is, and it's crazy because I posted a lot of it on Instagram, and people, you're a natural. I'm like, I'm a natural. I am my own biggest critic. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people.
You need to be, and you need to be. And that voice needs to be loud, and that's the only voice you really need to care about. Because if you start judging yourself based on other people's perceptions, then you become exactly what people are saying.
Exactly.
So you being your own critic, that's a really good thing.
But that's a bad thing because I don't even watch myself. Like, Bebas BarTalk.
But that's part of your creation process.
Yeah, I don't watch myself. Like, I did one being personal about who me, and I didn't even watch the whole thing. I watched a lot of. I don't watch myself. I hate watching myself. I don't know why, but I do hate. Sometimes I make myself laugh. I'm like, oh shit, I'm funny as shit. Like what the? But it's weird. I don't know if a lot of maybe you do something that you don't like to. You know what I mean about yourself, or But
once I finish editing something, I may not watch it for a while. Okay. There's certain projects I haven't seen in forever since I made them. Mm-hmm. But that's part of your creation process. So if part of your creative process is to create something but not watch it, but just to keep going, mm-hmm. That's just something you got to acknowledge too. You got to acknowledge that that's what's healthy for you, to not revisit stuff you created because it could mess up your thinking or whatever it is, to make sure that you on the top of your game. You gotta stick to whatever works, because I think your work is really dope. I think how you've packaged your charisma, it's really entertaining.
Thank you.
It's intimidating too.
Really?
Yeah. No. When I met Teresa, I'm just like, oh man, I gotta get a Red Bull before I walk in here, because she could take this anywhere.
Like you fucking start talking about Johnny, how he got me fucked up, huh? No,
yeah, you're amazing.
It's crazy because I seen. So, Dante, you did a documentary about 2 years ago, a year ago.
I did a few.
Yeah, Work Harder. Which, first of all, Try Harder. I'm sorry. I need a shirt.
Yeah,
I want a shirt.
I got you.
Try Harder. Oh, you got one?
That's dope.
Oh,
That's
so
dope.
you got a shirt. I need a fucking shirt.
That's dope.
But Try Harder. That documentary was dope. I had to watch it twice.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I watched it twice because it is an inspiring documentary. And I told him, I'm like, you're the shit. And I was watching the whole thing, and I'm like, dude, you're basically took on. Well, I'm a 90s kid. You're obviously a 90s kid. Everything we grew up on. And it was like, shit, this nigga knows Freddy fucking Krueger. You know what I mean? He went to the Home Alone house. The crazy thing I love about what you've done, you go to the celebrities' grave sites.
No, yeah, that's really intimate to me. That's really
That's dope. And the way you say to get their energy, and it's like there's people. I don't know. I believe in vibes. I believe in energy. I believe in all that. And for you to do that, it's like, yo, that shit's dope. Like Marilyn Monroe, freaking Baby Ruth. You actually brought a ball. See, I see the documentary. And you know what I mean? And it's like, that shit's dope.
Peace. I think it's really important to celebrate life, in birth and in death. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Especially, I like going to grave sites and, cemeteries, but, it's a love thing. It's a respect thing. But that's their final resting place. That's where people go to remember them, So if I go to visit Malcolm X in the cemetery, it's just me and Malcolm X there,
It's
world.
not like how when they're in, it's like you and a whole bunch of people. You're literally like, one-on-one with that person. You know what I mean?
I'm energy sensitive.
And energy,
so
yes. And I
feel like you died twice. I said that in the party.
Yes.
You died twice.
Yeah, you died twice.
When you can't breathe no more, and then you die when the last person says your name. So it's just, these people are tremendous influencers. They're Americans that lived great lives, and did amazing things with their time on Earth, and I'm constantly reflecting on that, what people did with their time, what people did with their energy, how productive people were with their breath, and I guess that's why I visit cemeteries a lot too, because there's people you never get to meet.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never get to meet Celia Cruz, but you can run up on her anytime in the Bronx,
Mm-hmm.
You can go pay your respects, and not meet her, but you feel energy. That's just how I feel.
Yeah. And I feel like as well, like the whole part of take chances. Like, you have to take chances, and I'm one. I live on a lot. I've learned to not do that a lot on the what ifs. What if this? What if that? And I'm just like, yo, fuck it, just do it. Do like Nike and do it. Like, you know what I mean? Because what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. I mean, some people get stuck on get stuck on theory. That's what I used to call it. Some people are fine with the idea of something sounding good. So they don't do it. They just leave it in their head. Mm-hmm. They're just in love with the idea. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to the Grand Canyon. I know it someday. And then you're in love with saying that. You're in love with feeling that way.
Existence.
Mm-hmm. and some people can go to sleep and live their whole life
Never.
fine
I wish
with
I
having
went.
exactly.
I wish I would have gone.
I just
You've
can't
been
live
to
like that.
How many states already?
48 or 50. I got Alaska and
Imagínate.
Hawaii left.
And when are you gonna be doing those? Pretty soon, hopefully.
Soon. I want to do it this year. I would love to do it this year, but I want to splurge, you know. So I can't just go in and out. I want to spend like a week in each place, and
Yeah,
I just
because
want
every
to do it
place
right.
has its own history, and obviously you're that person that you're gonna want to go to the historic sites. You're gonna want to go to where and
There's a lot I want to do, and I
yeah.
want to do it right. So
exactly.
I don't mind waiting. I mean, I've worked on it this long. I just don't want to hurry and finish. At the same time, I don't feel like I'll ever finish because, there's just a lot of work to be done in how we tell America's story. You know? We don't tell the Native American story the way we should. We don't tell the American slave trade story the way we should. I got straight A's my whole life. I finished school when I was 20 years old, and nobody taught me about Native Americans. I had to go find that for myself. I had to be in the middle of Georgia asking people questions for them to tell me about people who used the Mississippi 17,000 years ago. How did I learn that shit in the classroom? Like, how did I not learn that?
But it's crazy how today's Martin Luther King Day, and I don't know about you, but when we were going to go to school, and especially like with the whole Columbus Day and all this stuff, it's like they glorified it in a way. And now my kids are, and I think I said it before, my kids are like, we're not going to glorify Christopher Columbus. He did this and this and I'm like, shit, when I was in school, they were fucking saying he was the best person ever. You know what I mean? So it's like, times is changing. Kids are not, we're not like
the
us.
truth is coming out.
It's coming out.
And we're having these conversations. Like Columbus never touched foot on American soil. He never hit Florida, the mainland. He didn't even represent the Queen. Like this dude was, him and his boys rode out. You know? So it's just like, and they straight murdered and put an end to a whole species of people, a whole kind of people.
Cool how people like you want to put that out there. I think you had a few documentaries.
The conversation.
It has to be said because these are a group of people that were already here prior. Like they did, you know what I mean? So it needs to be said. The truth needs to be told, and just by you going to where, you know what I mean, there's still people out there that are living, there are Native Americans that they could tell you. You know what I mean? So that's just dope. I actually freaking love everything you've done. I went on your Instagram. I'm like a little stalker. It was Teresa stalking you, sweetheart. Teresa was stalking you, and it's like the pictures and everything. It's just like history, like the whole there was the trains that you have, the abandoned train areas. I'm like, that was pretty cool. Yeah,
that was pretty cool. I mean, somebody in Pennsylvania just collects trains, like abandoned trains that don't function no more. He buys them up and he just leaves them.
I'm like, one of these days is like start remodeling them and stuff. You never freaking know.
He knows photographers go back there. He leaves the gate open. It's on private property.
Oh, that's good.
And he just collects trains and leaves them back there. And there's a bunch of Boston ones.
Ooh.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
seeing like a trolley falling apart, that was pretty cool.
It's like, shoot, I remember if you know Boston, how it was before. Like how the bridge was over in where the TD Garden is, how the garden was. Like I grew up, my mother worked in Spalding Rehab before it moved to Charlestown, is it now? And I grew up in Chelsea. So we go through this fucking Tobin. If you know the Tobin, you know. And go to the Tobin, and we saw how they did the demolition to the garden. When we go to Leechmere, take the train on the high, wasn't in the tunnel. So it's like just being from here is one thing is amazing. I'm proud to be from Boston, even though I say Chelsea. I grew up in Chelsea. I still from Boston. It's like those people. I'm from Boston. Meanwhile, you lived in fucking Lowell and shit. No, you're not. You're from the Merrimack side, sweetheart.
Love.
And we're Rosendale.
Rosendale Hyde Park, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I always say Rosendale, but Rosendale Hyde Park, and I've been in Mattapan for the last 5 years now. So
okay.
I'll say Rosendale Hyde Park. I say District 5.
District 5. See, he's from District 5. Me, I moved to Roxbury. I'm from fucking Roxbury. How about that? I got so much love from Roxbury. It's not even funny. So I'm from Roxbury. I don't cross bridges no more. I'm not paying the $3 toll. Fuck that.
My mom's in Chelsea. I got a lot of cousins in Chelsea.
Yeah, we probably have the same kind of people because we're like, yo, I know him. That's a cool thing. Every single time I would say, oh, I have an interview. You got Dante Luna. You interviewed. You know what I mean? So it's cool. It's that you actually mention somebody's name and they know you.
That's pretty cool.
You know what I mean? It's like me when sometimes, like I said, I was at the mall the other day. He said, you're Beba. And I'm like, yeah, how do you know? But I forget that I'm on Instagram. My daughter one time came down. She's like, oh my God, Mom. I'm like, what the hell happened? She's like, my friend said you're Beba from Instagram. She thought it was embarrassing. I'm like, listen, sweetheart. I'd rather your friend say you're Beba from Instagram doing comedy than, oh, your mother's the one in the fucking Guana. So, you know what I mean? Like, just bought a bag of fucking weed, you know, like stuff like that. So she's like, I know it was embarrassing at first, but it's actually pretty cool. You know what I mean? My little one's my biggest fan. My oldest, I got a 16 and 12-year-old.
Wow.
So my 16-year-old, you know, is a teenager.
Wow.
Little douchebag sometimes.
I mean, I left my house at 17. I moved to Florida at 17. I moved to Miami by myself when I was 17. And I just found a Walmart, a Taco Bell, and I was on my own.
Once you find a Walmart, you're good.
When you say 16, 17, you could be
Yeah. How did this whole, like, your love for doing filming? Because you went to school, you studied philosophy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love movies. I love movies. I love television. When I moved to Miami by myself, the first thing I did was I bought American Chopper, and Living Color, and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
the classics,
on DVD. And I just binge watch TV to kind of get myself comfortable. You know, I grew up on movies and television, period. My first few music videos changed my life, you know, because I made a video and I was walking around campus and they were like, Dante, I seen your video. And I did a video for my school's TV station because they had a really whack-ass show called Rendezvous Miami, and they took you around these bougie parts of Miami. I'm just like, that's not the Miami I know. Mm-hmm. So I took people around affordable Miami.
Yeah, like basically the hood in a way.
I brought them to the flea market. Yeah. You know what I mean? I showed you a bougie Miami where this is an $800 vase. Oh, and let me show you a $700 Jetta. You know what I mean? Like you can go walk into this flea market with $700 and walk out with a fucking Jetta. Imagínate. You know what I mean? So I was like, and I made that video, and my school thought it was hilarious. So I would walk on campus, and my professors were saying it. I'm just like, I couldn't ignore that energy that people saying that was dope.
And that's
so
what
I kept making videos.
That's what I say too with the whole when people give you that, oh shit, you're a natural, or oh my God, you gotta. It's like feeding the soul, your energy. Like shit, you gotta keep doing more. Like me with the whole Teresa, or me just talking shit, and it's like I gotta do better. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Because people are expecting this work from you. You're gonna be like, okay, what's the next one? What's gonna be the next?
Yeah, I guess people expecting it. It's good to create a discipline and thinking about it that way, but you're gonna create your own pace for yourself. You know, like we all find our own greatness in our own time. You know, and sometimes certain ideas need development. For years, I had 4 steps. It was a think, write, create, expose. Think, write, create, expose. Think, write, create, expose. For years, I created hundreds of videos with those 4 steps. And then I added an extra step at like one of the darkest times of my life. I discovered an extra step because I had more time on my hand. You know, and the extra step was develop. So think, write, create, develop, expose. So before something get exposed, I gotta develop that concept. I gotta take it to the next level. I gotta take it apart, put it back together. Does this thing deserve the light of day? And that development process has stopped hundreds of more ideas from even going online because it didn't pass the development process. You know, and you gotta think about, you know, as an artist, everybody has bad art in them. And the sooner we get that bad art out, the better, you know? And you don't know what the bad art is, you know? Yeah. Engaging with the audience, that's fun, that's energy, that's hard to measure, you know? But you as a creative, as an artist, no one's ever gonna be able to dictate that for you. There's gonna be so many things that could influence you and inspire you, and you gotta acknowledge that. Like you meeting people who love your work, that inspires you. I think, but allowing it to affect you too much could fuck you up.
Yeah.
It could fuck up how you think about what you do.
I think it's like sometimes I'm a Capricorn. I blame everything on the zodiac sign. So I feel as a Capricorn, I overthink. I do. I say like, oh, you cheated on me. Sorry, I'm a freaking Scorpio. What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? You're a fucking asshole. Sorry, I'm a Taurus. What the hell you want me to do? I gotta be blunt. So I overthink. I'm a fucking Capricorn. I do that a lot, and I feel like sometimes that could make it hurts. Because we were like me, I'm like, oh, what if nobody liked it? And somebody told me, just do it. Just put it. Gary V. I'm a big follower of Gary V. And sometimes I just put it out there. If they like it, they don't. You know what I mean? So I'm a big overthinker. I do overthink about a lot of things that I do. I have a whole bunch of videos that I don't put out there because I'm afraid that, or not afraid, but I'm like, oh, what if nobody's gonna feel the same if I do it something else? I've gotten a lot of compliments with the Teresa character, you know what I mean? I didn't do a Teresa skit since I went to Florida to visit my mom. I didn't see her for 3 years, so I went to Florida to visit my mom. Me and my sister have a love-hate relationship more in a way, so I actually made a skit with our love-hate relationship type thing, you know what I mean? So that was the last time, and it's like I was bummed out. I'm like, damn, what am I gonna do? I have no energy. I feel like, I don't know, like, and then this freaking weather doesn't help, you know what I mean? Like the seasonal depression type of thing, being depressed is no joke.
Yeah, it's a real
you know what I mean? And sometimes, like you said, you have to go through dark times to figure out who you are.
I mean that's one. That's one way of experiencing art. I've interviewed a lot of artists who don't believe that. I've been like the voice of Super Mario and the Art Influence documentary. He talks about that. He talks about some people believing that you need to go through something to create. And he's just like, I've never been through nothing wrong. Like my life was great. I create from a happy place. And that concept to me was just like so beautiful, because I've always been the one to talk about creating art from a dark place. I've created most of my work has come from a really dark place. Like a lot of videos I don't remember I made, or I don't remember how that got made, and they were really detailed projects, because at the time maybe my mind wasn't right.
Yeah.
Like I've made a lot of my darker music videos. I guess those were when I had the most fun.
I know there was one about, I seen one of the videos, the girl was getting like the guys hitting the girl, like it was.
Yeah, that was Drugs, Money, and Problems.
Yes, I'm like, whoa, but it was cool, but it's like, damn, where the hell does this guy come up with this shit? Yeah,
I love horror movies, and music videos give me the best chance to create from scratch. But music videos is how I got started. And when I started making music videos, I thought that music videos was the only thing I had. Like that was like my only in on the scene. But probably
because at that time that was the only thing that was out there.
That could sell what people wanted. I've always been a hustler, so it's just like the first time I heard how much for a video, I'm like, yo, bro, $500.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, I need to get a camera. I don't even own a camera. He's like, yo, I got $500 on Friday. I got you. I'm like, yo, bro, we gotta get a camera. We gotta figure out where I'm gonna edit this shit. Like. So my first couple hundred videos, I didn't own a camera. So there's a lot of people who be like, I want to get started, and and they feel like they need to buy a camera. They need to buy all this stuff. Like, money only tells you what something is worth, doesn't tell you what you can get done. Because I borrowed cameras, and I like literally had to ask people to use their computer so I can edit stuff. Until I can buy my own camera, and I was able to buy my own.
But it didn't stop you. A lot of people, I don't got this, so I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it. So it didn't stop you from still doing your thing.
So the younger me would shit on people who just weren't strong enough to handle the grind. For me, I feel like I'm in a better place, but I don't think about that no more. I don't think that way no more. I just think people have their own time. Like Tim Allen. From the age of 25, 26, 27, he was locked up for coke. He was locked up on drug charges, and he would later become Santa Claus. He would later become Buzz Lightyear. And at 27 years old, he was fucking locked up. Like, did he ever in his mind think that he was gonna be a global icon?
Look at Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he went through a lot. Robert Downey Jr. is one of the biggest names in TV
Yeah.
and movies, you know. So, you know, we find greatness in our own time, you know. So it's just like, you know, life in art is not meant for everybody. You know, some people it is good for them to just create as a hobby. You know, some people just need to create I think it's an essential function of being human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we have to express ourselves one way or another.
One way, exactly.
But you gotta remember, you know, Mozart died broke. Mozart didn't die with no money.
Mm-hmm.
Soulja Boy has made more money than Mozart.
Imagine.
But Mozart's music could be found in any music school in the world.
Yeah, the classical, all that.
So it's just like, what are you
everywhere.
doing it for? Like, what are you creating for? Like, are you creating for wealth? You know, are you creating for yourself? Are you creating to, to help the world or entertain the world or educate the world or and give them something to love and look forward to and inspire the world? You know, you have to have a definition for success.
Of what is it that you want? Yeah, because it's crazy with me. I will wake up and I'll put something up there like I snap. I snap a lot. It was like, bitch, you snap a lot. But it's people. But the amazing part about it is when I wake up and I see messages. Oh my God, you're fucking hilarious. You just made my day. Just by reading those parts right there, you just made my day. It's like, shit, I have a purpose. At the end of the day, like I said earlier, my coping mechanism is laughter, comedy. I try to take everything into, sometimes, like, I feel like whoever ends up with me has a good sense of humor because I'm DNA retarded. You know what I mean? But it's the way, like, other people take whatever situations happens to them. Me, I just take it as a joke. You know what I mean? Like, I've been single for 3 years. I was in a 10-year relationship. So coming out and seeing everything, all the fuckboys and all that bullshit that's going on, I make it into a joke. A lot of people be like, oh my God, you're a wreck, but it's true. But you make it into comedy. You know what I mean? And I feel like my purpose, if it comes with wealth, whatever, if it comes, it comes. But my purpose, I feel like it's more, let me give something to you or give this to this person that maybe woke up feeling all fucked up, twisted, and confused. When they see my story or they see my video, they put a smile on their face. So it's like, I feel like me, I've always had, mommy used to call me la charlatana. Like, I've always had a sense of humor. You know what I mean? But like you said, sometimes, and I've always had the whole comedy thing down packed. But I went through a point in my life where I had to do everything. I was by myself. I lost everything. And that's where it heightened, because I always had it, but it heightened my ability to be like, you know what? I got something here. You know what I mean? I may doubt myself a lot, but I feel like, you know what, bitch? You got it.
And it's a blessing that you found that. Mm-hmm. You know, some people spend their whole life not figuring that out. Mm-hmm. You know, I think our parents' generation still work 40 years with no dreams.
No, exactly.
They go to work 100 hours a week, and they have dreams, but it's back here.
Yeah.
You know, they got to go to work. But my dad's like that. My dad works 100 hours a week with no dreams because he got to work.
Yeah, he got to work. Yeah.
I can't live like that, you know? And I respect it. My mom's a working person. Like, my mom and my dad both blue collar, but they raised a no collar son, you know, like.
But your mom is in the school, is a teacher, right?
My mom's a teacher, yeah.
So Eugene? Yeah. And I know, and it's funny because my ex, they were teachers. My ex, well, he was, his father is a professor at University of Puerto Rico, and his mom was a teacher in Hartford and in Springfield. I lived in Western Mass for a long time. And they even said it. We went to Washington, D.C. They went to, you know what I mean? So we were able to, if they didn't do it now, it's because they didn't. But at least you got that. I was still, you know, I grew up going to these places, and I still want to continue to learn where else is there. You know what I mean? All the history.
I think my mom did it out of pain too, because my mom was going through a lot with my dad.
Okay, so it was like more of a escape.
She would definitely go on the road and to teach us stuff. But when I reflect on it, I know, you know, she was just going through a lot too.
So it was
that
her
was a
way
part
of
kids, let's get the hell out of here. You know. You know, but at the same time, I'm grown enough to be able to have a different relationship with my dad. I mean, my dad seen Bad Boys 3 today.
Oh my God.
Like, it's so dope to be able to, I mean, I loved it. I loved
the whole Bad Boys 1 and 2. So
I just don't think the bad guys were as strong as Bad Boys 1 and 2.
Really?
So the Bad Boys 2, that bad guy is nasty.
I love Bad Boys 2.
I think is way better.
Yeah.
Bad Boys 3, It's crazy. I don't know. I thought it was a good movie. I laughed the entire time.
Okay,
but
so it was
I
more
just
fun, funny
I love villains.
yeah.
I love bad guys so much.
I
If you
know.
don't have a good villain,
His favorite villain is Shredder.
the Shredder.
The Shredder.
I love the
Or
Shredder
Gay.
because he was the scariest as a
Out of
kid. The
all
Shredder.
Shredders. I mean, out of all the villains, Shredders.
The Shredder was my favorite bad guy.
I would have thought it was like maybe Freddy Krueger.
Freddy was scary.
But Freddy Krueger was more like in
Out
the
of all
horror.
the slashers, it'd be Chucky.
Chucky.
Chucky was like.
No, I feel fucking nothing. I was low key scared of Chucky. My sister's weird. We used to watch the movie, right? Like I'm saying I love my fucking era because, like you said, you watch movies. That's all we had.
Yeah.
Movies and TV. Now it's fucking YouTube. You know, but my daughter the other day, I'm like, let's watch a classic, right? I put her to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. She's like, "Ma, it's fake." I'm like, back in my day, we thought it was real because she's like, "It's not," you know. But it's like, kid, I'm trying to show you history. This is history.
Yeah.
But Chucky, I was scared of fucking Chucky. But
Chucky
then
was
Chucky,
badass,
Bride of
man.
Chucky came, and I was like, ha ha. Then it kind of fucked it up with the rest of the Chuckies.
I mean, I guess what they do is years later. I think every story deserves any timeless story is eligible for being rebooted.
Yeah.
You know, like the real Romeo and Juliet was like 700 years ago. How many times have we told that story of Romeo and Juliet? And how many different people have said, I got the story of Romeo and Juliet. I got the West Side Story. Like, bro, like that story's been told over and over and over. So I think any good story could get
They're
told
gonna want to remake
over
it. Yeah,
and over
yeah.
and over.
It's like
But
I still don't like Pet Cemetery, the remake. I like the original.
I didn't touch it. I didn't get to see
Oh,
it. I wanted to see it,
It's
but
it was
See?
no.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like one day you just want to Netflix and chill, probably watch it. Just like, let's see.
I
for
know
hot
I'll
hot.
watch it, but I'm really in love with the original. See, like I'm that type of viewer too. Like if I'm in love with the original, I'll take my time watching the remake.
Yeah, the remake. That's when I didn't watch the remake of Chucky.
No, I see everything.
I didn't.
I seen everything. I thought it was decent.
It
I just don't like that the creator was cut out of it.
Oh. Okay,
They straight jacked them.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? Like he created Chucky, he wrote Chucky, he directed the Chucky. He's the Chucky creator. The studio moved forward with a movie without him.
Oh, see, that's when I
got too much
got it.
loyalty to people who create characters and big money takes their shit. I'm like, that's like what they did to the Wayans brothers. You know what I mean? The way they stole Scary Movie from them,
Yeah.
they did 10 more without them.
And
like,
they did it without them. And the best
that's
scary movie
big money.
was Scary
The first
movie
one and
2.
two. 1 and 2.
And then after that, they just like made it all. It was corny.
That was
and
a straight jack.
Yeah, that's the type of like really they just made. It's like when the whole Fast and the Furious. When they did
That's
one
a cash
and
cow,
then
man,
they
because
took
that's the
it,
only
and then
like
they put it back.
top-notch racing car type movie that fills that side of the market. You know, they'll make 100 Fast and the Furious for as long as nobody else is making fly-ass car movies.
Yeah.
You know, all they need to do is see a Civic go under a truck a few times, and they do it the right way. Do that shit 10 times throughout the movie, and then like they're the car franchise, they're the car brand. There's nobody else making, unless Tom Cruise keeps making his movies, unless 007 keeps making movies. You know, there's nobody else really making those type of. And I remember Fast and the Furious when they came out, and
When
like
it came out. That was when like
that-
the whole
that was, like, the car
racing
movie.
days.
Yeah.
Because we still got the car, the car.
I
clubs
still
and
want an
stuff.
Eclipse. I want a Mitsubishi Eclipse so bad.
Like till this day.
Deadass. I
20
want
years later, I
a
still want a
Supra so
Mitsubishi
bad.
Eclipse.
I know, man. I think my boy was saying he was salted the other day. He pulled up in an Acura Integra. I'm like, yo, I'm like, Isabella. I told my daughter, I'm like, yo, when I was in high school, it was the coolest car in the world.
This is the shit.
And he looked at me like, are you serious? I was like, yo, this car was a cool car in high school.
Now
What's up, bro?
Yeah, now it's like rare to find an Integra in a good, good.
I'm like, damn, this is my dream car back in the day.
Then I what? My dream was a
Nah,
Mercedes.
deadass.
No, we
I
like
wanted
it.
a Mitsubishi Eclipse more than anybody, man.
No, but that was when that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I wish, like, I want to instill that in my kids. Like, yeah, this is cool, but we had that best generation.
I put my daughter onto 90s stuff all the time. Like, she's binged Family Matters with me.
Oh.
And I took her to a Comic-Con to meet Urkel.
I seen that.
She helped me interview Laura Winslow.
That's dope.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
She helped me interview Waldo. So Isabella was just like, oh, man. So Isabella watches The Office. I've never seen The Office.
I never really seen you.
So she walks by, she sees Stanley from The Office. She was like, oh, Pa, that's Stanley. I said,
Who?
yo, let's go interview Stanley. And so we went up to him, and my daughter interviewed him. And so it's just like, she wants to start her own YouTube. So I'm like, I think now she's at the age where she's like,
how old is she?
She's just turned 10.
Oh yeah, so my 12-year, yeah, because my little one, she's me. My little one, everybody's like, yo, you need to put her, like the other day she's doing the dance, right? I'm like, what is the mop, right? And I'm like, why don't you take the freaking mop and actually mop? She's like, I don't have time for that. But she's me. So I try to put her in like one of my Teresa skits. She was the one recording and doing. And I see her and I say, and it's cool to have them. Like my oldest is like, whatever. Like she's but having my little one try to do the same thing I do, it's dope because you'd be like, okay, they see what we're doing, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's
a whole new era, man. I mean, we represent a whole nother generation. I was born in '87. You know, I remember beepers. I remember the first cell phones. I remember the car phone. You know, I remember cassettes going to CDs going to a little MP3 disc. Yeah. And then that was done in like 6 months. It was gone.
And LimeWire, Napster.
Napster. Yep.
We only got viruses on our AOL dial-up.
CD players with the clear tops, and you can see the CD spinning. Yep. I used to love that.
Sometimes that they scratch. That's it. It's done. You gotta get a new fucking CD.
I remember AOL when that first opened. Like when my mom bought a computer for the house when we were in 6th grade, and that was when CD burners were the first time CD burners were in computers.
Oh shit!
So, so people were just like, computers, they burn CDs, burn music, burn your own. I'm like, damn, this is awesome. Because back in before that, my uncle was an animator. He had a computer station in the basement, and he would not let us touch the computers. He had a CD burner. It was like, that's $1,000. Yeah. I'm like, damn, I can't touch nothing. He had like
don't even look at it.
4 or 5 screens. You know, he was making cartoons. He'd have us in the closet voicing these cartoons, you know, which is pretty cool.
So you basically, in a way, you grew up already with that.
Yeah, but nobody. I mean, I was around. I was exposed to it. Like my grandfather owned a record label for like 30 years, but before I was even born. So I grew up as a kid, 5 years old, helping him sell CDs at concerts. My grandfather's a pastor, so he had a Christian record label, and he had so all of Richie Ray and Bobby Cruise's Christian albums. He owns those. He produced those records. Oh, shit. So as a kid, he would have boxes of CDs and posters. There'd be like a concert, people preaching or singing or doing performances, and I'd be at that concert selling CDs, selling cassettes. I mean, your grandpa, $85. Your grandpa, $100. Your grandpa, $50. And so he would bring me with him to the shows because I'd be hustling these. Like he'd bring 3 artists with them. Those 3 artists will all rock a set, and at the end of their set, they would come to their table. And while they're performing, I'm handing out flyers. And this is me at 5, 6, 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
So it's in my blood. But, man, my uncle was, like, super creative. But he didn't let us touch his computers. Yeah. We would have to, like, peek our head through the door.
To see what he was doing.
And it looked like the Matrix. Like, he had all these screens. It was, like, the coolest thing in the world. But he would not let us fuck with his shit. Like, I remember it, but now
let me sit down and see you do
I'm the same way now. I don't let my nephews and nieces don't fucking touch the computer. They want to believe juicies. They want to come hang out around the computer. Like, I'm the uncle that says, don't fucking touch my Ninja Turtles. Don't fucking touch my computer.
My Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, don't touch my Ninja Turtle. My Ninja Turtle statue. It's a toy, man. It's a fucking statue.
It's a reliquia.
I'm that uncle that grew up and said, don't fucking touch my Ninja Turtles. You know, and
so can we play? These are not toys.
I showered him. Yo, I bought 100 stickers for CJ, my sister's son. I filled his room with stickers. But don't touch with my shit. You got your own stickers.
You got your own shit.
I got a fucking Sonic that's 5 feet long. I put in his room. I put a Black Panther sticker on the refrigerator. I filled the house up with stickers. Man, don't touch my shit in the basement. You know, because my sister inherited the crib. When she had the 3rd kid, my mom bought a house in Hyde Park, so my sister inherited this fly ass crib, so I use it to store a lot of my
memorabilia,
my create stuff that's important to me. The stuff that has a lot of energy, you know, stuff that has energy to me.
Okay, so being from Boston, and I say this in every person I interview because it is important to put it out there. How much support have you received from home?
Honestly, it's not important to me. I love home. But I like home being home. My support comes, the support I care about the most needs to come from strangers. Needs to come from people I don't know. You know, I don't put the pressure on people I love to fuck with me. You know, because I need them to be there to love me. You know, I need them to be there to have my back when I'm up or down. You know, I need them to be there. You know, I think you can ruin relationships by being like, you ain't sharing my shit. You ain't fucking with me. I'm like, yo, bro, like, let them love you. That's your uncle. That nigga he's never been on YouTube ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't even have Facebook. Like, why you mad at him for? Like, that's your uncle. You know, love this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't put pressure on people I love to really support me. I love my city. I don't think I'll ever leave Boston. I feel like Boston needs a motherfucker like me.
Facts.
You know, because, you know, it's Felix Arroyo stopped me from moving to New York when I had the opportunity to move to New York and, you know, be successful at what I do in another market. He's like, Dante, Boston needs you. You know, like, you have to create what you're creating. You have to do it here. That energy you have for creating, packaging stories, you got to package Boston stories because, you know, Boston's going to need that wave, you know. Boston's going to need, you know, to have their story told. You know, so I always felt a responsibility to the city, you know. When I first started making videos, people always talked about unity and wanting to, like, get on the same page. And I didn't really believe in unity, you know, because for me, unity meant a bunch of motherfuckers holding hands on a boat
that really don't want to hold hands.
That don't know how to swim.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not about to go out and be on a sinking ship with a bunch of motherfuckers who don't know how to swim. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think true unity amongst people who are working hard and who are talented, that makes sense. You know, like, a true collaboration is two fucking amazing artists collaborating on something that people want to experience, you know, versus it's like, you from Boston, let's do a Boston thing. I'm like,
it's crazy because
it's just a lot of pressure, bro. Dude, like, I feel like if I was a rapper, I'd put out 1,000 songs before I featured anybody. But music is the only place where I really see artists feel like they need to collaborate. When you see a Picasso painting, how many fucking signatures do you see on that painting?
One.
That's the way it should be. That's his expression. You don't see Picasso featuring 50 motherfuckers. You don't see Picasso featuring 30 people he had there while he was painting. You see you see one name. That's what people's expression should be, you know. But music is a different arena, you know, because music needs a producer. Like, so an artist automatically a vocalist, a writer. A writer could need a vocalist. A writer could need a vocalist and a producer. A writer could need a vocalist, a producer, and an engineer. You're already collaborating with 4 people to get that song created. So I understand that collaborative effort to work on art. You know, it's just, you know, I think people should find their voice and determine that voice and define that voice for the audience, for the people, you know, before anything.
It's crazy because this past weekend I went to a listening party for a artist. His name is Chris Streets. He's from So Raspy, with Jada Kiss, under Jada Kiss and all that. And he came to Boston. Pen Pushers, he's another videographer, really dope videographer. He's from out here, from actually Waltham. And I've seen him. He brought him out here, and I have a person that works with me actually, and she's a bartender too. But she's a dope artist. I know everybody comes to our mix, huh? Our mix, they don't know it yet, but there's a lot of famous people gonna come out of this fucking bar. You guys gotta appreciate us. But she's a dope artist. Her name's Lord Jewel. Dope, super dope. And I told her I'm gonna be in this event. Come through, and we had already talked about it before, so she came, and it was so dope because one of his songs, she's like, play it back, and she said, this is it, and she already, like, you know, the whole relationship, and it's not, oh well, he's not from Boston, I'm not gonna New York and Boston, you know what I mean? And it's like just building relationships and being able to support. Doesn't matter where you're from.
Yeah, I do a lot of traveling, and I always say I'm from Boston, and that's just universal.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like when I come back to Boston, I see people arguing. It's a waste of energy. But it also paints a picture of our city, of where we're from, and you know how we get down. You know.
And I feel like a lot of people are loud, like I said, like we were telling them, like, you're very quiet but your work it's loud already. You know what I mean? Yeah. You put it out there, but you don't have to be like, oh yeah, I came from here, I did this, I did that, I did all that. You don't do that. And you're still known, and you're still, you know, your work.
I've always wanted my work to speak for itself.
Exactly.
You know?
I see a lot of people that talk too much.
Because the real me, I don't think sometimes is good for business. I swear a lot. I do whatever the fuck I want.
Fucking lot too.
And that's not always good for
No.
business, you know. So it's just like
You're
my art sells
cocky
me.
about it. That's what I like. You're humble.
can't
You're
be.
cocky.
You
You're
can't
not
be.
cocky
I
about
don't
it.
think you can be.
And
It's
there's a
hard.
lot of people that they're too cocky. That they're too, and it's like.
That's probably part of their creative process. That's probably part of what keeps them on the horse. What keeps them running that race. So it's just like I see people with heavy egos, but that could come from a place like growing up. All the kids at Boston Arts Academy, some of the most talented people in the city, but that school had its egos. That school had a bunch of kids who thought they were like unfuckwittable. But
and now, where are they at?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so, but that was always impressive to me too. Like, people so in their bag about their skills that it comes out in their personality, that they're so dope at singing that this motherfucker is just an asshole. I'm like, damn. Like, but at this, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
do I like the artist or do I like the asshole? Because it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, damn, his rap is good, his music is dope, but then you're walking around like you're the fucking shit. Meanwhile, you haven't really created anything from
when
yourself.
you buy a CD, you don't buy a CD with the person. That person don't call you. That person don't hang out with you. That person don't have pizza with you. You buy the CD. You buy the album. You watch the movie. You know what I mean? You experience their art. Their personality, that's just a bonus. That should be just a bonus.
True.
But we live in the lifestyle era. We live in the era of, portraying your life as an artist where that is more important than actually creating art. And that sucks. That how I dress, and what I look like, and what I eat is more important than what I'm creating.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I don't think that's cool. I just it's not. But at the same time, that time will will be able to filter all the fuckery out.
Yeah.
Because if you spend 10 years, then you're a fashion artist. Then you're not really a musician. You're not really a filmmaker.
Yeah,
you're not really
just
a
an
painter.
Instagram model, huh? Basically,
You're a model. You
Yeah.
me just say you're a fashionista. Say you're in a fashion. That makes more sense. You're a lifestyle artist. You like showing off your way you put the clothes together. That's dope. That's an art form.
Yeah.
People that get paid for that. To style people. Some motherfuckers some celebrities don't even know what they're wearing.
Yeah.
Because they have a stylist come through, and it's its own thing. But I honestly haven't really jumped on that aspect of storytelling. Because it is an interesting storytelling. Because Instagram, social media has made it easier for people to showcase their personality.
Yeah, actually,
because your Instagram is a good stage for to tell stories.
Yeah.
And that's how I use it. My social media is business to me. It's my way of showing you what's on my mind, what I'm working on. I realized I started making more money when I stopped showing you my life. I'm not gonna show you my steak anymore because I'm getting paid less. Steak doesn't make me any money. Showing you what I'm eating don't make me any money. It doesn't give me any more opportunities. Actually, it got me less opportunities because people think I just go for a jog and drink Gatorade every day and take pictures of apples. Like, it doesn't make me any money. I'm not gonna do it. In terms of like how I use social media. I'm not too social on social media. I'm always on the offense.
I know. I've been waiting on my date. I'm like, damn, what is it? Like, because I a lot of the people I follow, I follow. Like, I tell people, you follow me, but don't follow. I follow people, and I like to see what's going on next. You know what I mean? So when I see it, it's like, damn. But at the same time,
I never give you a timeline.
You don't give me a timeline. But when you do post something, it's like, oh shit, it was worth the wait in a way. You know what I mean? Like me, again, I didn't post my skits to Teresa, and I started again, and people are like, oh shit, she's back. But then I'll stop, but it's like I want people to miss it. I want people to wanna, you know what I mean? But at the same time, in my part is content. And then people, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Nothing's going on. It's just I also have a life. I also have kids I gotta take care. I have a 9 to 5 that I gotta take care. I have, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people expect so much when you give them. Once you give them a little, oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Nothing. I also have to do. I have a personal life I gotta take care. I'm not posting it, because there's days I post it. Like Saturday, I woke up 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh, I was like Teresita from the South End. And I put the salsa, and I started talking about history of salsa. How Eddie Santiago made songs that cheating was okay, but they still loved you. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then The next day I didn't post shit.
You as a person, I don't even think needs to answer those questions, because Teresita could have her own time,
Exactly. So it's like sometimes people's like, I leave me alone.
I mean, but at the same time, I don't even think it's your place to even argue with the audience. I when I first started putting videos up, I was paying attention to what the comments and pay attention to people. It's impossible for me now, to study comments and to study what people. I don't argue with the audience. That's the number one thing. So it's just like, if the audience got something to say, I let them argue amongst themselves.
And it's crazy because,
like, I went through a period where I just deleted negative comments. My first time, I deleted negative comments. Then I realized the videos with the most negative comments are the ones getting the most plays, because people go to that video to go argue. I'm like, yo, I love that shit.
Yeah, thank you for the view.
Thank you
for the comment, because more comments.
I can argue all day. The ruder, the better.
Yeah.
Because people will come out, and they do have an army of people defending this idea, this argument, and it doesn't need to be you. Let the audience argue. You don't have to go out there and fight in the crowd. Like, you don't have to do that.
I have somebody, and it's funny because I'm like, but why do you follow me? But they still follow me, and they're like, I think the people that use the Boston accent is as fake, or the Boston accent, is as fake as the actual person doing it. I'm like, first of all, sweetheart, okay, I don't give a shit. I'm still gonna do me because everybody loves Teresa. And guess what you're doing? Sitting down, looking at my shit.
That's powerful. When I see you do that, that's you finding material too.
Yeah.
That's you digging for material too. Because you could, with comedy, you could dig for material just by reading comments.
Yeah, by reading comments. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, I'm doing something with myself. I'm doing something with it. And I see people, those are the ones that are sitting down looking at my shit, doing nothing. You know what I mean? At least I'm out there putting myself out there.
Yeah. At the same time, it's not even our job to look left and right and what other people are doing.
No.
I don't waste my energy doing it. Sometimes I have to sit down and see how people are doing. Like, there's a lot of people who make videos in the city that I have to just sit down and just see their catalog and see what they've been working on since the last time we spoke. If it's an artist, a music, like a rapper or singer, I'll sit down, I'll look at their last 10 music videos I haven't watched. If it's a filmmaker, I'll look at whatever's new on their station. And that's how I catch up with people. But
the good thing about it is, like, you also you see, you look at it, but there's people that actually, oh, well, that person did this wrong, that person did that wrong, and it's like, why even criticize what they're doing if they're doing it different than you?
It's natural. It's natural.
Yeah.
I think we all have different flavors. We have different things that make us unique. I see it as flavors. You see there's different colors, crayons in the crayon box. So it's like we all have our own way of doing things. Like, I don't see nobody as competition, because competition would imply that you can express something the same way I can. That means you have the same opinion I do,
but we have it in a different.
How could you possibly? How could, let's say, two twins, right, who are 12 years old, 12 years old each, right, and they both lived their life, the same exact life, their whole lives, wear the same overalls, they went to the same school, had the same sandwiches, but if you ask them one question, they have two different answers.
Yeah.
So people are going to be different, So it's just like, it's impossible for people to have the same expression. I just, I think it's easy to feel like, there is competition because of the playing field. Like, oh, he's making videos or she's making videos. I'm excited by it. When Miway started making videos, I thought that was really exciting, And then he was like, I know he struggled with, people, trying to shoot him down for it or hating on him. But I just thought, I thought it was really empowering. It inspired me, it inspired me a lot, because I know Miway has a great personality. I know he has a great vision, a great eye. And before I know it, he put out one video and then he put out 100, and then creatively, he's in his time of renaissance, and I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud and really excited to see people like that grow. And
it's crazy because he comes back and still gives the same love, same energy, same. You know what I mean? He's still the same person. It's not just because you went away to
No, he got family there too. So he has a connection to Miami that's part of him. So
exactly.
And I lived 4 years in Miami, so Miami has a special place in my life.
Yeah.
I can go to Miami right now with no GPS, with nothing. I can go there with no money in my pocket, no cell phone, and I'll be good. Like, I built a market there, but I love Boston too much to be able. I don't feel like I could ever give up on Boston, because this is a lot of work to be done. You know, even though Miami is like my second home.
It's crazy because it's like how in Maze Radio we do we talk about a lot like, oh, do we have to leave, you know, go to New York or go to other and it's no.
You bring New York to us.
We bring New York.
When New York comes to visit, you check in with us and you fuck with us. But at the same time, the brand could grow. You know, the brand could grow. You know, Maze Radio could interview a really famous boxer, then you get invited to a fight in Vegas. You're not gonna say no to that.
No, of course not.
You know, so it's just like the brand could grow.
To us, they hit us up. We didn't have to go to Miami or to New York or to Atlanta because everything's all down south and all that. You know what I mean?
For you guys, your stage is the world.
Yeah, exactly. We're not just Boston. At the end of the day,
because your viewers. Like I look at the demographics on my videos all the time, and a lot of my views come from Europe. I've never been to Europe.
Imagínate.
You know, I got a lot of plays in Kenya. I'm like, how the fuck do I got plays in Kenya? Like I don't know nobody from Kenya. You know, I got a lot of plays in Indonesia. I'm like, I've never been to Indonesia. I don't know nobody from Indonesia. You know, so it's just like your stage could be anywhere.
Anywhere.
You know, before I started YouTube, I had an eBay account. And that's how I paid for college. I finished my bachelor's degree when I was 20 years old, and I was able to pay for college because I had an eBay account. And that's like why the hustler in me started first. And that's why what you do is so beautiful because you're a pure artist, right? Because you haven't had a ton of money dropped on your lap to create comedy. And if you did, you know, it's a whole nother scenario for you. Like if someone, you know, if someone surprised you or was able to compensate you and in a crazy amount of way with your art, that's a whole nother scenario. But the fact that comedy came first, your art came first, your passion came first, that's gonna be very powerful for you in the future. Like as you continue to tell your story, you can always go back to where you started. You can always go back and be like, why did I do this? What am I doing this for? You know, I mean, when my introduction to make a video, I did it out of love. Like I want to make a video. But after that first video, I immediately got, Dante, how much? So in my head, I was blinded for the first 5-6 years of making videos. I was blinded by money because all I cared about was making money and giving these people what they wanted.
And the love for it, it's
love
like,
for it kind of
went away. And you're right. It's not about it's extra. I see it as, well, if money comes, that's extra because I'm being compensated for what I love to do.
But someone's gonna knock on your door one day with a bag of money someday.
Oh, you don't even understand because I got bills to pay. I got a lot of shit I gotta pay. Fucking bill collectors are calling my name. Scam likely. Fuck you. I know it's you. I know you're trying to get a bill from me. It's not happening. but you see, it's me, you know, and it's like he thought this was just regular. I work like I'm a bartender. He said, "You're a bartender for real?" I'm like, "Yeah." You think they're gonna give this place for me for free? You know? But it's.
I mean, your cousin could own the joint. You just like, y'all go there on Mondays and I'm just take over.
No, and it's crazy because the past 2 Mondays, the past 2 Mondays we did it somewhere else. He said, "What's going on, Beba?" And then I did the shout out to Shoot for Greatness. He came on a Wednesday and I came. He's like, "Well, what do you think? You could just do your schedule?" I'm like, can I use it? Can I still use it? And it's like, but I know that if it wasn't for Top Mix, Maze Radio, I wouldn't be able to do Bebas BarTalk. And I always say I'm forever grateful for that. Even though I still did my comedy, Maze Radio was always gonna be me. But me myself, I don't think I would have been able to put Bebas BarTalk together if it wasn't for the team that I have.
It's a collaborative effort.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have people around you that kind of see that vision and that respect that vision for you.
Exactly.
It might have been different if these people were strangers.
And you know, it's funny because they're strangers.
Total strangers?
Yes, and that's when you said.
They probably seen something that they fuck with. They be like, you know what? I know where you're going with that.
No.
And I fuck with it.
When I started with Maze
really
Radio, I hit up Danny Maze, and I'm like, what is it? What are you looking for me? What do you want? That what is it that you're expecting from me? You, Beba, you don't change who you are. We want you. What's your personality, your comedy, everything. And at first I was like, well, okay, you know what I mean? And like I said, when I was doing what? We were doing Back to That, Speakeasy. And yes, I love doing it, but it wasn't me. And I told them from the beginning. I'm like, the Latin Festival. We was at the Latin Festival. We were sitting there and I'm like, I want to do something more like Beba, like me. And then the whole interviews part, when we did the interviews there at the Latin Festival, I'm like, all right, the Bebas BarTalk. I have talked to James from MVP Transportation, because this is all, like you said, sometimes the love that I've been receiving is more from strangers than people that I've dealt with my whole life. That I'm gonna tell you this right now, and it's because I seen your documentary and I had to analyze it. Like, I've leveled up in 2 years. 2 years ago, I was staying in a 1-bedroom apartment with my 2 daughters, my friend, her daughter, her mother, and my little dog in a 1-bedroom apartment because I had to give up my apartment.
And you still had space for a primo if something happened. You know, you got, you know what I'm saying?
And I had and everybody, oh my God, you should do comedy. Oh my God, you should do comedy. Oh, you're funny. But never, kind of pushed me in that way. There's one, I call her Panda, Amanda. She's the one that, let's put you on improv. I'm afraid of speaking in front of people. It's weird. I know. I'm like, I want to do stand up.
It's a different arena.
It's a different arena. And I thought people were like, oh, but you do. I'm like, it's not the same.
But sometimes you just got to go up there and suck. You know what I mean? They got to go up there and potentially suck.
It's exactly. So one day, that's my goal for 2020.
And that would probably be a lot of fun to go up there and just not do good. Maybe you just need to get over and be like, yo, that's what that feels like.
Exactly. Okay.
You know? And you go up there and you do it again. You know, it'd probably be a whole nother scenario.
And it's like, what's the worst that can happen? They can boo me. Like, you know what I mean? But not every comedian started out everybody laughing at them from the beginning.
You'll
hear
that from everybody.
Yeah.
You'll hear that from everybody. You know?
But I got in much the love and support, and that's why I say I'll represent Roxbury forever. I'll represent my people forever, because these people that I just met in a year have given me more love and support and more motivation than people that I've. My own sister. My sister won't report. But you said I'd rather her love me and support me than.
That's a secret to life, man. Some people will be like, yo, I got these dreams, I got these goals, got these aspirations. Fuck you. I'm like, yo, bro, that's your mom, your sister, your dad. I'm like, damn. Cool. Those are the only motherfuckers that care about you. Now you gotta go on the train and deal with a bunch of strangers and feel all awkward, and you're like, damn, I gotta go back home and just get some love. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean? Like, if you get on the train, that's a whole world of people who don't give a fuck about you. Once you leave your house, that's a whole street of people that don't give a fuck about you. You know, so it's like you gotta protect people who love you. You know what I mean?
See,
like,
my mom reposted something the other day. She said, yo no entiendo lo que tú dijiste, pero lo puso otra vez en Facebook para que todo el mundo lo viera.
I see, exactly. My dad does that. I give him a hug. And he's just like, I did that Facebook thing and I shared it. You know, did I do it right? I'm just like, yo, fuck, come here, give me a hug, man.
Yeah, but at least it was crazy because
I love it.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, mommy no entiende, but she reposted it. You know what I mean?
Like, nah, you didn't share it. I'm not going to Christmas.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to Thanksgiving because you didn't share it.
I can't live like that, man. I'd rather just.
I have cousins that. I have a cousin, Jari, and she won't repost, but she reposts myself. But she'll hit me on my, oh my God, Beba, I'm so proud of you. Beba, you're doing great. Beba, you're doing. I haven't seen her in 2 years like that, but her hitting me up means more to me than not hitting me up at all. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I have family members. Come on, Mel. Facebook. Everybody and their fucking mother's on Facebook. Everybody. When one person. You share it, everybody sees it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't know who knows who. Everybody knows everybody at the end of the day. So it's like, nobody can say, oh, I don't know that Beba was doing that. Yeah, you did. You just didn't acknowledge it. I don't care, though, because you're still seeing it. You still view it. I don't care. At the end of the day, I still am doing what I'm doing, and it's not going to stop me because somebody's not, I'm not getting the love and support from them. Okay. But this person I just met the other day just see my video and sends me a message. Yo, Beba, you just made my fucking day. I fucking love that. That means more to me than anything in the world.
Yeah, strangers are going to be the ones that feed your market.
Some strangers are weirdos, though. I'm sorry. The other day, some girl invited me to a party, and I'm like, I don't know you. She's like, oh, no, when I was doing a party, she's like, I want to be invited. I'm like, whoa. We follow each other on Snapchat and Instagram. But I don't know you like that. But it's a weird. But
then you send her an invitation to your online store.
Yeah.
And you can buy a little piece of me whenever you want. There's a T-shirt. There's a bookmark. I sell fucking.
I had the Bebas BarTalk hoodie on yesterday for work, and they're like, "When am I gonna get a sweater? Did you download the app? there's a marketplace there. You could get whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like I see like we have merchandise. So if you want to really represent and stuff, buy a merch. That's it. Or, let me know. And then one of my people's like, I don't want to go in the online. I'm like, I'll buy it for you. Cash me the money. You know what I mean? But I'll get you a hoodie. I'll get you. But it's like from people that come to the bar. They're like, when am I going to get a hoodie? When am I going to do this? When am I going to be at Bebas BarTalk? My dude, it's every fucking Monday at 7:30. Just open that door. Oh, but I don't get an invite. I put it on. You follow me on Instagram, right? So that's your invite. I don't know. It doesn't have to be all. I have people sometimes that will sit here and watch the show. You know what I mean? So it's
the people you know personally. That's ammunition. That should be. That's that's part of your network. Part of what makes you dangerous. But Justin Bieber, I guarantee you, he doesn't know any of his followers on Twitter. He has millions and millions of followers. Do you think those millions and millions of followers, do you think they give a fuck that Justin Bieber is not following them back? No. They're gonna ride out for him until he's gone. They will find their way to his funeral, even if he doesn't follow them back. So it's like that's the type of stranger power I want. Like to be able to have people you don't know so in love with your creation that they ride out like that. That's important.
It's crazy because this girl, she calls it my last skit with Johnny in the recording. She reposted me, doesn't follow me at all, and reposted me and said the Shameless of Boston. I'm like, oh shit! I'm the fucking Shameless of Boston. That's fucking shit. Because I love that show, Shameless. So it's like, I don't know. It's humbling.
Yeah.
It's a humbling, cool feeling.
You don't know where your work is gonna reach
either.
That's why it's important to keep doing it and not to look left and right and be too influenced by the things around you like that.
Yeah, when I post a lot of snaps with my little one. My little one is like, I just posted one today. She's doing her hair and she's like, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm not basic, mom. I'm trying to be original. I'm like, she's not a basic. You know what I mean? But she's and I have friends that's like, oh my god, when Nani's not around on your snaps, because on the summertime they're with their dad. She's like, when Nani's not, what's up? And one time she sent me a video. And she's like, post it on your snap. And I said, she's like, hey guys, I know my mom's snaps are not as lit as they are because I'm not here. I'm like, everybody was like, oh my god, Nani. You know what I mean? So putting that also, like the relationship with my kids and everything, they're like, yo, you and your kids are freaking hilarious.
It's just a part of how you tell your story.
So it's like the whole, I got a story to tell, and this is my story. I opened up a lot about what I've been through. I opened up why I'm the person I am, or who I became, because I've always been but it was heightened. It was like, again, I was in a 10-year relationship. I couldn't be who I am today. Yeah. I wasn't able to express that, or I didn't have somebody to help me express who I am today. I'm very vulgar. Not vulgar, but I talk a lot about, I'm like, I talk too much shit about sexual stuff, and I don't even get half of the shit. You know what I mean? For a person as if I can get it enough. But it's who I am. So when I'm not doing that, people were like, what's going on? So it's like, I'm human too.
People put that pressure on you. Yeah. I mean, Lauryn Hill's fans, or the fans do that to Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill put out a fucking classic album. How many people put out 10 albums that are not classic?
Exactly.
So, how you gonna force her to make another classic?
It's like Rihanna. People are still waiting on that album. She's like,
she put out a classic. She don't gotta do. Lauryn Hill don't gotta do shit the rest of her life.
Yeah, nothing.
Cause she put out a classic album.
She could be late to her concerts. No.
She can get a lot of. She can get all the heat she wants. But,
but she still made that classic. And for my 16-year-old,
people will put pressure on you to create. But you just have to manage that as you encounter it.
I know, and I feel like I'm always gonna do this, and I'm always gonna have the love for it. There's people that you said they love it, and then like you said with your videos, and then you started getting paid for it, and then the pressure was there, and then you kind of lost the for it. And I feel like as long as I'm always gonna love comedy. I love to laugh. I love to make people laugh. Like, Figs is one that is hard to make laugh. And if I make fucking Figs laugh, I'm golden. You know what I mean? It's like, and I have my boss. She's so funny. I was showing, she's like, I'm not a person that's into comedy. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're not into, she's like, no, I could be watching a freaking funny movie and everybody's laughing and I'm not laughing. And I'm like, and I'm like, bitch, that's my purpose now. I'm going to make you laugh. She's like, no, you made me laugh a little. I'm like, okay, good. That's my goal, to make you laugh a little, especially when people are not having of good days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy energy, man.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm Beba, bitch.
I interviewed Ramiro when he was working for Gemini 4.5. I interviewed him at his station with Pebbles at the computer, and I guess it's not a question I prepared. I just had it off the top of my head, and that was just how I felt. I'm just like, how do you prepare yourself for a laughing and talking every day type of thing?
Oh, I wish I could do that every day.
I'm like, damn. I'm like, and he was just like, I don't know, man. It's just like sometimes you just, sometimes these people suck.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets himself into his own. He has a routine he does to get himself ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how comedians do it. Like, how could you promise? Like, how could you possibly sign a contract for a radio station and promise these motherfuckers you're gonna be in a good mood at 6 o'clock in the morning every day?
You know, it's so crazy. I'm gonna tell you this. It's so funny because I used to live in Lynn and I worked in Brookline. So the traffic sucked moosecock, okay? so every morning I would do Beba's rants, traffic rants. And every morning I was at 6 in the morning in the highway talking my shit. And people would say the same thing. How the fuck do you wake up every morning just like, talking shit? I'm like, I don't know, but it's my therapy. Like, It was therapy to me. And I would have a fucked up, twisted, and confused morning, and I would make that into a thing. Like, my ex, when we broke up, he took the drawers and left the bureau. Well, like, who does that shit? So who the fuck takes the fucking dresser? I mean, the fucking drawers did not take the fucking dresser. A fucking douchebag. You know what I mean? So it's like, everybody's like, oh my God.
That's fucking
how
hilarious.
Do you wake
That
up
is
with
so funny.
much? Yeah, he did that. He fucking did that. I'm like, who that? You know what I mean? So I learned to just roll with the punches. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I used to be a very negative person. I was like, I would say, like, I would be like, I'm damned. Oh, why is this happening to me? Until one day it's like, bitch, you're up, you're awake, you're up, you're alive. Your kids are healthy, you're healthy. Get up and go. You know what I mean? I try to be a positive Patty and not a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer, because I didn't like the person I was before. I did not like. Depression is not fun. Waking up with anxiety is definitely not fun. As much weed I could smoke, it doesn't. You know what I mean? I still wake up and I used to wake up. I used to wake up and be like, ugh. Now it's like, okay, what are we doing today? What am I talking shit about today? You know what I mean? I use my Snap and my social media to help me get through a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? And even through the time that I was going through my dark, that I was like, I put it out that I was homeless, lost, had to give the kids to their dad. I was working 2 jobs nonstop with a fucked up ankle. I still woke up every morning and did a funny video. How? I have no idea. But it was my coping mechanism to know that I was making somebody laugh.
I mean, you just gotta be grateful that you found it, man.
Shit.
Some people lose their mind before they find it.
They lose their mind.
And then somebody else gotta tell them after they lost their mind.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you remember when you used to?
Yeah. Like, really? You don't.
His
you
brain
didn't
is
tell me
toast
at that time?
right now. He can't even pick up a pen no more. He can't even draw the Hulk no more. Like so it's just like it's a beautiful thing. It's really healthy that you found it because you could inspire people.
Yeah, and it's like everybody has an art. Like you in the thing, like everybody
it has an expression. I call it an expression because sometimes it might not be in art form. You know, sometimes some people want double dutch.
Yeah,
they want to go fishing, and fishing
is
what makes them free their mind, and and that's how they express themselves by finding a place to fish, and finding time how to deal with certain energy. It's just important.
And I feel like doing this, like having people from just also, like I said, we have so much talent in Boston, just not Boston, just Massachusetts in general, and a lot of people are afraid to come out, and I was afraid to be that person. I'm like, oh damn, do people really, and like I have a group of people that think I'm funny, but not everybody do really, and just on Maze Radio, because they're everywhere. It's not just in Boston. Where we were going live, they're like, oh, Beba. I'm like, oh shit, they actually like me, and it's people from Atlanta, from Mississippi, from LA, and it's like, okay, like, all right, I got something going, because you probably sometimes you think you're funny to your families or you have this, you're cool, but it's like, oh, okay, they like me too. But I feel like I want to be able to have Maze Radio or Bebas BarTalk be that outlet for people to come in and be like, yes, I do this. You know what I mean? Yes, I do the same. It's just like I want people to show that Massachusetts also has as much talent as anybody from New York, anybody from Florida, anybody from Atlanta, or anybody from LA. You know what I mean? A lot of people are moving to LA because of their opportunities. A lot of people are going to Miami or Florida, more opportunities. There's opportunities here.
Yeah.
You know, and I love the fact that you're here and you won't leave here because you said Boston needs people like you. You know what I mean? Boston, and just have you here. Even shoot for greatness at it. You don't have to leave here because you already got it. You know what I mean? But I love everything you're doing, like that ass.
Peace.
And it's for somebody that just, like I said, I heard of your name in the Latin Festival. I didn't have to follow you for years to be like, oh my god, like I literally just became a fan when I started.
Did you get to see the wrestling show?
Huh?
Did you get to see the wrestling show?
Oh, I saw the wrestling show.
Okay, cool.
I seen. I think the commissioner was there and everything. Like I was there. We were there early.
Oh, you saw a good piece then.
Yeah. We was there. And then it was that day basically opened up my eyes and my heart, be like, this is what I want to do. And I want to thank you. Even though you didn't know it was me.
That's fucking beautiful, man. That's beautiful. And that's
opportunity.
That's like story of my life, man.
No, dead ass. Because if it wasn't for you and having your crew and it's like a domino effect. Your crew that I knew that I didn't know. He said, Beba, let's go. And it's like you basically made part of who I am. Because this interview shit, I wouldn't have ever had the balls to do interviews.
Man, if there's
And
anything
to do
I can do,
Sólido, my nigga. Like,
that's pretty dope. I gotta get you that interview. I have it. I have it.
Yeah. He's gonna get me that interview, guys.
Yeah. I'll send it over to you.
I'll
send it over to you. You can release like your own extended version of it if you want to do more with it.
Yeah.
I was gonna release a snippet of it, but I think because it's like something that's important to you.
Oh no! Like you could tell Figs, you could ask Danny, right? I was like in awe, like that day, and then Beba, like, Beba, let's go. And I'm like, and I posted it up, and I should have done it. I wanted to do like a little recap because the last 6 months have been amazing. Like the networking I've done, I don't know. It's been dope. And that day was the day that I'm like, I woke up the next day, I'm like, I can't believe I did that. And people hitting me up, you're a natural. I'm like, yeah, I'm the natural. And it's just like, I stepped out of my comfort zone, and it was amazing. Cause I'm a person, I'm scared sometimes to step out of my comfort zone.
I'm so happy that you did.
That shit was dope.
You did, cause it's probably a bookmark in your life you'll never
of course.
forget.
That day I will never forget. And we almost had fucking Tito Bambino, but that douchebag didn't want to freaking interview.
He was tough.
But I think it was, I'm putting it out there, I think it was because of, he didn't want any media.
Yeah, so depending on the artist can shut down, like being filmed or recorded or recording their audio, you know. A lot of those big name artists, they have the same set that they do city to city.
Yeah, so they have
So if I film this whole set and he rocks that same set tomorrow, it's not special to the people who came to see him. So what they do is they shut it down. Don't record me. Don't film that. People are gonna film it with their phone.
Yeah,
but no one's gonna film for 45 minutes.
Or
they'll film a segment. So they shut it down. So if you want to protect your art, shut down the cameras and make people come see it.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes people are interviewed out. That people ask the same fucking questions all the time.
I know.
How you feeling? How you feeling about being in Boston? Where'd you get started? How'd you get? What was your record label? I'm like, yo, bro, they asked the same questions.
I asked Oro Solido, wait, did Maria ever come back? And no, and it was my thing because Oro Solido's Oro Solido. Like every freaking birthday, quinceañera, wedding, I'd be like, yo, how does it feel that after all these years, your music is still being played? You know? And he was like, it was like, oh shit, nobody's ever, you know what I mean? And he's like, yo, it feels good because it's like, that's what we wanted to do. That's what you want to do. Make music that after years is still getting played. You know what I mean? So being that and actually growing up, listening to him, it was dope. Like, I still, like, I'm in awe from that day. I woke up the next day, I'm like, did this really happen? Like, you know, because it was amazing. So you basically impacted and made something happen in my life. Because if it wasn't for that, I would have not. So
Peace. That's
I
so
can't
beautiful.
wait for fucking Latin Festival 2020. Shit, I was gonna say 2019, but I'm at me. I was like, what the fuck? I'm still at Latin Festival 2019. But you're amazing. Keep
Peace.
doing what you're doing. What is
Thank you.
next for you? What's next for Dante?
Right now I'm doing a lot of corporate work, a lot of weddings. I want to make as much money as possible so I can invest in more of my own ideas. If it was up to me, I'd just be something to look at. You know, I just create art, and I won't take any gigs. I wish I could be that caked up to be able to just create, you know. But right now, I'm hustling videos. I landed a gig with the Pedro Martinez Foundation.
I seen that.
Which is fucking
dope.
Crazy to me, cause
growing up,
I'm a diehard Pedro fan.
Yeah.
So
my sister has a ball signed by him. I'm still trying to figure out where the hell she has it.
Yeah.
It must be worth a lot of money. Not a lot now, but it's something.
Probably like $300-400 right now.
Yeah, well, okay. I think it'll cost more
Later.
I know. I'm like, shit. I need to find that ball. I'm like, bitch, I don't know where that ball
But he's a
went.
legend, man. He's a legend.
Yes. Honestly, again, we grew up in the best era ever because we basically grew up when the fucking curse was broken. That was when we had Big Papi, Manny Ramirez,
The beginning
Pedro
of Brady.
Martinez. Yes,
The
the
beginning
beginning
of Brady.
Like,
Yeah.
dude,
We
we're
got
the
to see a
fucking
lot.
shit.
We got to see a lot. Boston. I mean, I think that's. Well, honestly, that's what I blame a lot of. A lot of the biggest reason why I think the city is becoming more and more gentrified is because of the success of the teams.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's coming to Boston.
Yeah.
You know,
As much as they
Forest
make the
Hills
accent.
got like 5,000 more people now. Like, they about to add 5,000 people to Forest Hills. Like, that's crazy. So those people are gonna be like, I'm a Forest Hills ass motherfucker. I'm like, yo, bro, this dude, they just got here, and now they represent the neighborhood. You know, so it's just like.
Because of Teresa's from Southie. So I was in Southie the other day on West Broadway. They got Backyard Betty's, right? I'm like, oh, look at gentrification up in this bitch, huh? But it's like everything's so different. Like everything's changed. Like
Boston's gonna look totally different.
It's already totally different. That's what I'm saying. If you don't know Boston, how it was in the early '90s, you can't talk about Boston because this. Boston
I mean, America's young. You know, America's not that old. You know, so it's like we're gonna continue to evolve and continue to have a different face. You know, I think 100 years from now, everybody's gonna be Puerto Rican, Dominican, Irish, and black. You know, and Mexican. I think everyone's gonna be a little Mexican in 100 more years. You know, I think we're just gonna be a collision of different cultures. You know, because America's a good stage for that. You know, that's why I love it being a place where so many people come to and. You know, want to start a life here. You know, I'm proud of being in America. I don't like how we tell our story.
No.
You know, I love being from Boston. Boston will continue to grow and continue to change. I just hope I can be a part of that growth and inspire, you know, younger people to, you know, pursue their dreams. I was 16 years old and I was on the fry machine, the fry-later, working fries, and I had just finished starting my shit. I made chili that morning. I was on the sandwich machine. Was on drive-through, and then I was on the fry machine. I just was rotating spots, and then the manager came over to me, and she was just like, she put her hand on my shoulder. She's like, Dante, you're gonna be a manager here one day.
I'm like, fuck that.
Yo, that shit scared the fuck out of me. That scared the fuck.
Like, we're not knocking anybody that works at Wendy's, but that should be a stepping stone to start working somewhere else. That scared the fuck out of me. That her vision for me was a 40-year-old me at Wendy's. Like, yo, that shit. Like, yo, I said, I'm not going back, dude. That's how I felt. I just quit. And they're like, Dante, where are you? You didn't come to your shift. That's unprofessional. I'm just like, I can't do it. You know, that's how I felt. I can't do it. You know, that's how I felt. Feel like it's like days I wake up and I'm like, oh, do I really need this 9 to 5? Yes, I do. But until, you know what I mean? And
I'm not gonna say that working a job is not a good thing. You know, and you know, having a job is noble. Both my parents are, you know, working class people.
But shit, my goal
that's
is
not the
to
vision
like
I
wake
have
up
for myself.
And do interviews and do comedy. That's my thing. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, a bitch gotta work 2 jobs. You know, because at the end of the day, you still gotta be able to
you're gonna make money at the end of the day.
Yeah. But the goal is to do that. Wake up and like, okay, who am I interviewing? What video am I gonna? Who do we have next? What event are we planning? That's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Drop off the girls in school. Okay, where do we gotta go? You know, and still be bringing money in.
Yeah, you gotta create a system where you're making money when you're sleeping.
Exactly.
Making money that doesn't require your body. You know, doesn't require you physically being there, or me physically having to go there to sell it to you. If I can sit at my phone and get Venmos and PayPals and Cash Apps all day, that's where I want to be. So that I don't have to physically be there. If I'm there, it's because we working. It's because either we working or I'm picking up money. You know, because. You know, it's important that you have to be a human being. You know, you have to make money no matter what. And some people feel pressured to like turn their art into a business, and I still pressure people to do it, but it's not for everybody. I still pressure people to do it because I know a lot of talented people that died talented. You know, like my uncle passing away really fucked with me. You know, because he was really talented, but he never believed himself as an artist.
So he never actually put his work out there.
Nah.
See, that's.
He never showed his art to the world. He never said.
So it was his hobby, and he never put it out there.
He was the most talented person I've ever met in my life. Like with his eyes closed, he can look at a comic book once and then just paint it back with a color pencil. He do it with coffee. He'll carve it. He's nasty. Like I don't understand how this person how he wasn't rich. You know,
he would have put it out there.
He inspired me to go to my first Comic-Con, and Comic-Cons changed my life.
I know, I see, he does it.
Comic-Con is the reason I got the El Mundo gig, the El Mundo Family Festival gig.
Oh, wow.
So it was
was
picture.
it around the same time? Because I seen the thing, Puerto Rican Festival with Comic-Con, or
so
you had to do both at the same time?
I did both at the same time. So I was working 2 or 3 events that weekend. 2 of them were Puerto Rican Festival and Boston Comic-Con. You know, I work on a lot of events. You know, the Puerto Rican Festival was just, they brought me in to bring some entertainment. For the families, I guess they wanted what I was doing for El Mundo. You know, El Mundo is another scenario. El Mundo is more like home court. You know, Puerto Rican Festival is just another team. You know, actually I can't even talk about it because I don't like talking about it. Oh man, because it's a whole nother. They're just a whole nother. That was a whole nother monster, a whole nother scenario that I had to move forward from.
El Mundo or the
Puerto Rican Festival? Yeah.
It's not the same. I don't know.
I'm not even gonna comment about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not the fucking same. Bring it back to fucking Franklin Park.
I think it was too dangerous out there. I love it, but people used to run into our festival, shoot that shit up, and disappear into the woods. I understand why they shut it down.
Yeah, but it's like...
I hated that shit. I was standing in line at the Zipper once, and somebody got stabbed right in front of me, and I'm like, fuck, they shut the ride down.
It was more like, fuck,
Ambulance took this motherfucker, was bleeding everywhere. I'm like, y'all seriously turning off the ride?
Yeah, like, it's not my fault.
It's not my fault. It wasn't my beef. I didn't do it. I don't know if he survived. God bless him. But y'all really turning off the ride for this motherfucker? Like, damn. Like, I got mad.
But it's like... in City Hall, it's not
City Hall is different. City Hall is like you got too many eyes on you. I mean, City Hall sucks because we want to have fun, but when knuckleheads show up, and I say knuckleheads as in everybody, I'm not speaking about any specific race. I mean, it could be anybody. I say knuckleheads in general. Period. Those are people who just fucking don't think, crash dummies, who show up. And they fuck up in City Hall Plaza, you're doing it on the biggest stage of the city. Yeah. And that's a reflection of us as a culture. Exactly. Puerto Rican Festival used to be a week long. Yeah. It went from a week to 6 days to 5 days to 4 days. Before we know it, our kids are going to have a half hour to experience the Puerto Rican Festival. It's going to be a half hour. It's going to be from 12 to 12:30, and that's it.
The same way in Chelsea when they was
and everyone's going to share one pincho.
Yeah, one pincho. ¿Cómo se llama pincho? Yeah. But no, when it was in Chelsea, it was the Puerto Rican Festival. Then it turned to the Latin Festival, and then they shut it down. Period, because knuckleheads or people just want to fuck it up.
There's so many other places to handle beef. You're gonna handle it. You're gonna so many other places to fucking smack somebody. You're gonna smack somebody and then proceed by stabbing them right in City Hall. You know, right in City Hall, like in front of everybody. You have news reporters who are already typing up their report while this guy is leaking on the floor. And now these Puerto Ricans don't know how to act. These
Yeah.
Caribbeans don't know how to act. And then, it's just a bad stage. It's a bad reflection, and it's, we know it comes with the world. Like, there's darkness everywhere. But I wish we could have a good time without, shit fucking up, because I feel bad for the Caribbean festivals that lost opportunities. For me, they were always dangerous, period. Like, I would joke around. As a kid, like, yo, D, you going to PR Fest? I'm like, nah, my bulletproof vest is in the dry cleaner. I couldn't pick it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going this today. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just not my type of night.
I actually like the whole idea in Fenway Park with the Latin Festival. I like
Fenway.
that.
But Fenway doesn't let us sell food. That's what I don't think.
I know they
We're the
don't.
only Latin festival that doesn't sell their own Latin
Then we
food.
have to buy the freaking $20 chicken and hot dogs and shit. Like,
That's
really?
the only part I don't like, because it could be a place where we celebrate Latin culture and Latin people. We like to celebrate our food.
And they have their kioscos and stuff like that. So that would have been. But the whole thing of having it and it's safe, like, no. But I honestly didn't feel like, oh my god, who's gonna?
It's a lot safer. I think that's something else that.
Yeah.
It's another element that you
secure. Fenway Park and he gets all smiley. Like, you really, that's like your
because it's dope.
Like,
because I'm just a regular motherfucker from the neighborhood, and they say, yo, Dante, we need your help. And I said, with what? Like, Fenway Park. And I was just like,
what? Fenway, the green
Fenway?
monster.
So you want me to do what I do at the best of my ability at Fenway fucking Park? I'm all in, So every year I get blessed with more and more power, more and more real estate with this event, to the point where it's just like, damn, like, what's the bill on this shit? I'll find a sponsor to do it. You do my own events here someday. Hopefully they, I can work with them on doing more there. I feel like my work with them has helped save that event, because that event, is it's an event that if the people don't support, if the people don't come out and celebrate and have fun, that it won't happen, because Fenway is expensive, and Alberto and the Mundo team continue to do that event because it's a tradition, whether they make money or break even or not, So my goal is to get more families involved. I brought the wrestling to Fenway, and that was like something. As a kid, I had a goal of being a part of the Red Sox or being part of WWE, and I got to do wrestling shows at Fenway.
WWF and Matt Gennard time.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that was.
If you don't know WWF, she's too young for you, bro. Me and my sister would stay up on Monday nights to watch Monday Night Raw. Okay, so WWF is the original name. I'm sorry.
Used to whoop my ass for staying up that late, man.
Yeah,
she used to see me up. I turn the TV off.
Yeah, and then turn it back on.
Turn it back on.
Put the towel on the bottom.
I had to put the towel at the bottom so she don't see the TV on. That's hilarious.
Yo, Dave, for real. But thank you for coming,
Absolutely.
Dante. I hope you come
a blessing.
again. We got Latin festivals coming up.
If anything I can do to add fuel to your fire, let me know.
Hey, it's all about networking, connections, and knowing everybody. Like, honestly, collabing. We're both from Boston. We don't want to leave Boston. We want to continue to have Boston out there. Put Boston in the map. And if it has to do with...
Don't give nobody the keys to your car. You stay in control of your shit, man. Stay in control of your of your vision for what you do. You know what I mean? I feel like the number one thing I want to tell you, just don't let nobody drive your shit. Because I think Beba, how you've been able to package your charisma, it's really powerful and it's really inspiring. It's a lot of fun. And it's like no one's giving you that formula but you. So like off the top of my head, from the bottom of my heart, don't let nobody drive your shit. Stay in charge, and keep doing what you do.
Thank you.
And I pray that you stay inspired, man, because...
Oh, no. As long as I have people like you, like my people, like just the people around me that dope energy, I'm always going to be inspired.
Peace.
Like, this is like, again, you inspire me. Your whole, like, when I had to go and check, and I was like, yo, Dante, I seen it, and I was like, yo, Art Influence, that's another one. I love that one, but Try Harder. I would watch it over and over. I was having my daughter watch it too.
I made those on accident. Both of those projects are just I made them on accident because I planned on doing interviews, and I realized I was having these really dope, inspiring conversations, and I just put them all together. I'm like, oh shit! Yeah. When I put all these people together, speaking on this subject, yo, this is something, and I had to put it together to really believe in it, just to understand what I had in front of me.
But your ending of Try Harder was like that made me realize.
Dope.
Yeah, like
I'm glad you watched. I'm glad you experienced that.
Yeah, and like I basically, if I doubted myself, watching that made me feel like, bitch, you popping. Like you've leveled up in the last, like, just by watching you, listening to your words, made me be like, all right, no, Beba, you gotta wake the fuck up. You gotta get back on your shit. You know what I mean? Especially when I was just having a conversation with Figs the other day. I feel depressed. I feel anxiety. What am I doing? What am I not doing right? Why is Teresa not coming out again? Why is Teresita not coming? Why is Beba not talking her shit? Or why is it? I was kind of like, I didn't want to, like, now I'm going to do Beba, but I didn't have no more motivation. When they told me Dante Luna, I'm like, all right, let me listen. And I'm like, oh, all right, I'm Gucci. Let's get a video. Let's try doing this shit, all right? Because you sometimes need that, like, inspire other person. You know what I mean? You basically kind of helped me get back on my shit, on my bullshit.
Peace.
You know what I mean? Figs is another one. I go to her when I'm feeling down, and she understands me too, because we go through the same, like, anxieties and stuff like that. So having people like you guys around is a blessing. You know what I mean? So thank you.
You're welcome.
For being you.
Thank you.
And you know, sky's the limit. And at the end of the day,
Pretty cool. It got a maze.
it is. It's welcome to the maze. We need to do it inside the maze with you.
I had to take a closer look. I'm like, yo, there's a real life maze.
So you're gonna be inside the maze pretty soon. We're gonna set that up.
If we can figure this maze out, this maze is like, we can go through it.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I think so.
Yeah. I want to get a magic marker.
He said, "Bro, I did it. I found out how to get out of the maze. Once you're in the maze, you can't get out of the maze. How about that?" Well, thank you for coming. Bebas BarTalk, Dark Words, Sober Thoughts. Don't get me all fucked up, twisted, and confused, because I will put you out there.